if you look in the church in the world nowadays, there is no God or Jesus. Can you believe what I'm saying? Oh, then only you have God? Of course. I'm telling you the facts. What is the life of the sun? It is light. Where there is the sun, there is light. Where there is the light, there is a sun. They cannot be separated, right? If there is bright light, then we know that the sun is shining. And where the sun is, there is light shining. It's the same with God and love. Where there is God, there is love, like an ocean. And when there is love like an ocean, then God is there, for sure. And the Father and I are one. And God, the Father, and Jesus are always together. Then, do you see God's love in the churches? Is there love in the churches? Have you heard of God's love? So, since you have not heard of God's love, how can God be there? Pastors fight with each other. Pastors and elders, they fight with one another and drag each other down from the pulpit. And they curse. And they even sue people and take them to court. Denominations fight with one another. They shoot one another. Is there love or not? And because there is no love, there is no what? Because there is no love, there is no God. If it's dark and no light, then there is no sun. The fact is there is no love in the church, in the world, means that God is not there and Jesus is not there. Is what I'm saying right or wrong? It's right. Right now, all the religions in the world are all fake. Whether Christianity or Buddhism, Confucianism, they're all fake. They only act as if God is there or Jesus is there. When you speak of Confucianism, then there needs to be integrity. But those people who should have integrity, they get drunk and they beat their wife and children. Then will Confucius later say, "Oh, you are my good disciple"? No, they are not a true disciple. If Confucius becomes resurrected, they'll probably bang them on the head with a stick. Or, if it's Buddhism, then there must be mercy. Buddhism mainly taught of mercy. But instead, these Buddhists, they fight with one another. They even kill each other. One time in jail, a Buddhist came in. "Oh, sir, what are you doing here?" "Oh, I killed someone." "Oh, even Buddhist monks kill?" They kill each other trying to go on a high position, become a leader. Buddhists who learn about mercy, those who are faithful, they do not even catch fleas. They do not kill fleas. But instead they kill people. Then that's not true Buddhism there. Nowadays, even Buddhists, they cover their heads because it's bald. And they go in and drink. There are many Buddhists who came here. I am not lying. And then, how about in Christianity? There must be love. In Confucianism, there's integrity. And in Buddhism, there's mercy. And in Christianity, there's love. But is there love in the churches nowadays? No, that's why when Jesus comes, when the real Jesus comes, to all those who use His name to make money, to show miracles, they will all be judged. And right now, Jesus is waiting. We must find the truth of heaven once again. And that truth is love. What is mercy? Mercy is also love. Confucius, Buddhism, Buddha, Jesus, they all spoke of love. And they're trying to join people to God. You know, last time in the meeting, I said that Confucius tried to lead people to God. And this man came and said, "Oh, teacher, everything was good except one thing." What? "Oh, you You know, Buddha,
우리 부처님이
I don't think he led people to God. Please explain to me.
수준에 맞게 좀 해주십시오. 이렇게 은근히 치더라고요.
So I said, what is mercy?
자비가 뭐냐? 사랑자 슬플
Isn't not mercy love? And who is love? Where's love come from? Love comes from God. Love only comes from God. Then the fact that Buddha taught love and mercy was also teaching that we should go to God. The truth is very wide. And Confucius also said, those who obey God will live. Yes, Confucius taught God. And Buddha said, you must love, you must have mercy to everyone. That's also leading people to God. And Jesus also, you must go to the Father through me. So if there is no love, then it's not a true religion. So in these last days, you must know that we will all go to heaven under one truth. And in the Garden of Eden, there was no Christianity or Buddhism or Confucianism. We were all the same children of God who received that love. And in these last days, before we go to heaven, we'll all be restored into that one love. Therefore, to all the churches who are being deceived by the false God, I hope that you will receive that true God of love here and share Him to others in the world and ascend to heaven together. Let's read. Another difference is that God, the Father, has a heart of omniscience. As nothing is hidden between heaven and earth under the bright sun, so in the same way no one and nothing in the universe is left unnoticed in the sight of God. To say nothing of the shallow, narrow hearts of men. Now, since you readers have thoroughly learned of God's heart and character, I sincerely hope that you will become His loving sons and daughters, rendering obedience to Him who is the epitome of love from now on. I should hope that you will submit to Him, not in fear of judgment or punishment, but for fear of making Him sad, sigh, cry, and wail for you, whose life is love and whose entirety is love. Then, as He desires, promises, and plans, He will send back His Son, when it is exactly His pre-planned time and date, in order to take us back to His everlasting holy city, to live with Him forever as Enoch, our elder brother, does, and we shall possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Amen. Praise the Lord.
당신의 나라 당신께서 계시는 거룩한 하늘 도성으로 데려가 영원히 당신 곁에서 당신과 함께 사는 행복한 자녀로 삼으리니 누림이 영원하고 영원하고 영원하리이다.
So before we came to this attic room, I went to church. We were afraid that God would send us to hell and into the fire, and that's why we obeyed Him. Isn't that so? We don't even want to go to church. We don't even want to pay any offerings or tithes, but we did out of fear. This is not obedience, but it's submission. But now, I hope that you will know that if I leave God, He will cry and wail for me. In order to make Him happy, I hope you will be His obedient, filial sons and daughters. That's why our life before we met God and our life after we met God completely changes. And in this is happiness and joy. A certain slave was being sold. He's very sick and weak. And as everyone watched him, he looks like he would die. So a man said, "Oh, how much is he?" Though he looks so skinny and weak, he's very, very strong. He works well. So pay $300. Okay, $300. As this man saw, this slave was so weak. He had been beaten and worked and overworked so much. So this man took him and said, "You belong to me now." And this slave started to shiver. He paid so much money for me. In order to make that money back, he's going to work me to death. And he was scared. And this man said, "You're mine. I paid for you, didn't I? You're mine, aren't you?" "Yes, I belong to you." "Well, I'm going to make you free. You can do whatever you want. You can live and go and do as you please." "What? No, I'll work for you. I'll follow you." And followed him. I'll go somewhere. No, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm so grateful. And though he wasn't told to work, he started to work. And he worked 10 times, even more, much harder and much more than he did before. And that isn't submission. Before it was submission, but now it's obedience. And so, though it was his master, he's so grateful to him. And everything he does is out of love for that man. You know, there's a difference between when we submit ourselves to God, afraid that he will send us to hell and burn us. But when we know his heart and we obey him, then we are so happy. And that's why that slave was not a slave anymore, but he was part of the family. And they ate together, they lived together. Oh, don't work like that. Rest. Here, come here, eat. Let's sit together and let's eat together. And he lived a life which was like heaven. In the same way, there's the difference between those who are dragged around by God out of fear and those who obey God because they love him. So in the future, even if you're not told to go out and evangelize, you'll go out and evangelize. And if you're not told to pray, you'll go out and pray. And even if you're not told to give up your life, you'll give up your life for him. And you'll live in happiness that cannot be found in this world. Now that you have accepted God into your hearts, this is the beginning of our eternal life.